This one from the Daily Mail, you'll love it. Cashed-up Chinese buyers are taking private jets to Melbourne to purchase luxury mansions in the city's most expensive suburb. An Australian buyer's agent reveals. Buyer's agent and property developer Alex Bragilevsky says 90% of his buyers now come from China. What a name, eh? Bragilevsky. In the last 6 months, the buyer's agent has facilitated a whopping $135 million in real estate deals, and all were Chinese buyers. Mr. Bragilevsky said that some of the international buyers arrive in Melbourne on a private jet and will pay over asking for a luxury home that they want. Wow. Meanwhile, in the Fin Review, which loves a bit of property porn, a bit of real estate titillation, they're calling it a frenzy. They're calling the high-end property boom a frenzy. They're calling it manic. To quote, this marked increase in Chinese 15 million plus house purchases turned manic over the October 1 to 7 Chinese holiday week. Agents are ferrying Chinese buyers around Vaucluse and Toorak amid a 400% surge in inquiries and street records smashed daily. Now bear in mind, there's another mob cashing in on this big time, and that is the mansion flippers of the eastern suburbs and the leafy suburbs of Melbourne as well. There's an epidemic. Check out our mansion flipping epidemic video. And the reason that there is because you don't pay tax, capital gains tax on the family home. So they're just flipping it. $20 million tax-free profits. Chinese come in, you pay $20 million for it, it's worth $40 million. That $20 million that you've made in the upside because of capital gains tax relief, which Albo has said he will never touch the family home. Literally, he said, full stop, exclamation mark. It's that sacred. And so that's why there's this massive rort going on. That's why the Chinese money is flowing thick and fast. This is a gold rush. It's the third gold rush. And the reason it's a gold rush is because successive governments have put in place incredibly favourable policy positions for property. And it drags all property prices up and rental prices as well. And there's a whole lot of property being owned by wealthy Chinese who are just parking their money here. They don't even bother renting things out. They probably haven't even got the water turned on in some of these mansions, while ordinary Australians are living in tents. Some of them, bit of an exaggeration there, but you get the picture. There is a rental and property price affordability crisis going on. There are dual crises going on. And this gold rush is due to negative gearing, capital gains tax relief, and of course the failure of successive governments to bring in money laundering laws, ergo this deluge of cash. Been 2 years almost now since Albo's government's been working on this, but there is nothing yet. So there is a massive black money boom in high-end property, which is dragging up all property prices for all Australians because they're still dithering on bringing in these money laundering laws because the lawyers and the accountants and the property development sector are not covered by money laundering laws. They don't have to say where their money is coming from, unlike banks, casinos, and bullion dealers. So it's all going through Big Four, big law, and of course, the property developers sector. And the funniest thing was this week that the immigration minister, the federal immigration minister, just said that the answer to the heavy-duty demand and the supply issues in property was more migrants. That's the answer. More migration to cover the need to build more homes, partially to be used by the 700,000 or so immigrants per year. That's a conversation we're going to have. We're not xenophobic. We think it's got to be had, though. We've got to get the immigration settings right, because if the government isn't going to fork out for infrastructure and it's not taxing the big end properly, where's the infrastructure going to come from to build all the places that Australians need to live, and all the migrants as well? So it's something that's been captured by the right, which tends towards xenophobia and suspicion about migrants. We're not the same, but there is a population Ponzi scheme going on, and the politicians don't want to get rid of it because it makes their GDP look good. But if you strip away migration, the economy probably isn't going very far at all. We've got to have this debate. We'll be covering it very shortly, trying to come up with the best settings. Like, comment or share in the section below, and thank you very much for your support.